want her to grab the bat and put it right in your palm of your hand. Hold it up a little bit. So when I pull that, you see how it's coming right through her hand? Now what I'm going to do is I want her to focus on those two fingers right there. See, I can't pull that bat through her fingers. So those two fingers right here on your top hand for a right-handed hitter, to me, is what shows that's where your power is at. Okay? And one of the ways to show that is that if I took my right hand and I did my index finger and I look at my muscle, it's not really doing anything. If I took my pinky and did it, or my thumb, it ain't doing much. But if I take these two fingers and flex them, all of a sudden I see the muscles move. So that shows me that those two fingers right there are your power fingers. Okay? So a lot of times, what I focus on, bottom hand, 4 fingers. Top hand, focus on these two fingers right here. Now, most of my hitters, a lot of times when they have their top hand, it's nice and relaxed, just like this. But I know when they get into the contact point, that those two fingers is what's holding that back. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? It's very important, because if your hitter has got that, you know, and it's typical, especially with young hitters, you know, they get up there, elbows out here like this, we know from that point it's going to be a disaster. Okay? So what we try to focus on is that 45-degree angle. It's really easy to figure out because that's how it sits naturally right there. Okay? When we raise our hands to our position, we raise them up like this, it stays at that 45-degree angle. We don't want the bat laying back here. We don't want it here. Some players like to have it here. As I say, the reason why we don't do any of this stuff, okay, is because if I have the bat starting here, what happens when I go through my swing, you notice how I'm already compensating my swing to get to the ball? Why do all that? Why have it like this and then move it here? Why have it like this to start moving it around to get to our swing? Why don't we have it at 45 to where it's going to start and where it's going to go through? Does that make sense? Okay. So, hands. Now, a lot of times they'll ask, where should our player be in position to the plate? Should they be standing up by the plate? What I always focus on is this as a home. It's a home, right? We always think about the gutter. What I always focus on is having the back foot where the gutter's at. Okay? The reason why that I instruct that is because anytime a pitcher has any movement, if we have our player all the way back in the box, okay, when that movement, we're trying to hit a ball when it's moving, meaning moving down, moving up, moving up. It's very hard to hit that way, okay? So we try to take that movement out as much as possible, staying more towards the front of the plate. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? Because when that ball is going to start moving is we're trying to catch it before it does that, okay? Especially if you have a pitcher who is even a little bit slower, you know, then we want to even move a little bit farther forward, okay? Because one of the things that any player is, it doesn't matter if they've hit for years, is they're very anxious to hit the ball, okay? So sometimes we have to calm them from, you know what I mean? We have to calm them from hitting or trying to hit it so quickly. So, as I say, the correlation to the plate, when we come up to the plate, our players come up to the plate, we want to focus on right about at the gutter, our back foot where the gutter would be on the mouse, okay? So, when they do come up to the plate, one of the things that we always instruct is first we request timeout, because we don't want to be quick pitched, because everybody hates that, right? How many parents do you have yelling, the pitcher's not even waiting for our batters to get ready, okay? Well, what we want to focus on, or have our players focus on, or hitters, is that that's their play. I know the pitcher's thinking the same thing, but when we get up there, we request timeout. Now, I always want to stress that we request with an umpire. We never tell an umpire anything. We all know that when we played the game, right? So we request timeout. If our hand's up like this, he's going to be back there. His hand will be out here just like this. So that gives our players time to do anything. So, like my daughter, when she gets up there, she's one of those girls that digs a hole. You know, she gets up there like this, and she's doing all this stuff and getting all. Because what about if the next girl gets up there and she don't like the way her foot's in a funky hole or something like that? If she's standing there and trying to hit from a funky hole, she's not going to have a very comfortable swing. So if she's requesting timeout, you know, she can manicure however she wants to do it. Okay? So request her timeout. We relax. I'm not going to move, or my players don't move until the pitcher moves. Okay, so if the pitcher's just standing up there doing nothing, because she's got 20 seconds, you've got 10 seconds. Okay, she's gonna take her time. Whatever, we're going to take our time. Now, the one thing, as I say, I want to stress is that we don't move until she moves. So if we get up there and our player is like this, and standing there and ready and ready and ready, right? What happens when we have a player that comes up there and is ready? You as a pitcher, what do?
I wait.
She waits because she wants them to hold. She wants them to hold that 20-some ounce bat up there as long as possible. Okay, that's just the that's the advantage we're trying to get as a defense. Okay, but if that player's not going to do anything, that batter's there and waiting for her to move. Okay, then we know, okay, this batter is here for business. Okay, so now when I say we're not going to move until she moves, the first thing we're going to do as a batter, when she moves and goes negative, which would be what? That's negative. Okay, her hands are going back, she's going into a negative move. So our negative move is our load. So we go from here and we go into our load move. Now if you notice, all I did is I softened my back knee. Okay, the one thing that we can't do is we can't push our weight backwards. Because if we take our weight and we push it backwards, which I see a lot of times with hitters, if you notice, my back shoulder is beyond my back foot. Okay, so for me to swing, I have to come up and down. So my eyes are going up and down. Everything is going up and down. It's a lot harder for me to track a ball that way. But if I just soften my back knee, now all of a sudden, my shoulder's inside my back foot, and I can come from here and drive straight forward.